Hi. Hello.
Hi, Janine. We're just
How
gonna
are you? How are
good.
you?
Not a beach day today, huh?
Nope, we've got Hurricane Erin happening.
Hmm.
It's offshore though. It's just very rough and windy and cold.
All right, call this meeting to order. Will everybody please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, he'll probably wander in. Approval of minutes, last meeting.
Right, I have the July town clerk's report and the town board minutes from the 7/17.
Make a motion, we accept the, approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of bills.
General bill 21827 through 21865, highway 21866 through 21882, and water bill 3389 through 3393.
Can I get a motion on the bills?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're going into public comment. Couple things I have, North Main Street, the blacktopping is being worked on and should be completed this week. Unfortunately, the Route 199 closure. They're working on installing the veneer on the culvert wing walls. Project opening date was originally supposed to be 9/2, but with they're experiencing some delays. So now the expected opening is 9/12. Also, Janine wants everyone to know Hudson River Housing will be hosting an informational presentation on accessory dwellings on 8/26 at 6:30 at the community center. The Oddfellows and the Lions Club will be hosting a beef barbecue on 9/6. The flyers are around town at 4 p.m. And the hose company will be hosting a penny social on 9/7. Doors open at 12. Calling starts at 2. Does anybody else on the board have any public comment?
No.
I'm gonna open the floor for public comment. Public comment?
Can you just repeat the ADU
Absolutely. 8/26
thing?
at 6:30 p.m. at the community center.
I had Deanne Campbell from the Pine Plain Public Library. We were wondering if we could possibly replicate what y'all had for camp with officers stopping traffic for letting children by. Because I would like to have Kids Club be able to, our after school program that runs from 3:30 to 5, be able to bring some children, walk children from Seymour Smith over to the library.
That'd be a question you would talk to PD in regards to.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any public comments? Okay, closed public comments session. Warren, do you need a minute? Or,
Give me that.
okay, so we're gonna skip over Warren, come back to him. We're gonna have a presentation from the school superintendent, Brian Tim. In regards to school district residing, I believe. Yes, is that correct? At this time, there'll be no questions from the audience. If you have any questions, I ask that you attend the school board meeting and you can ask the questions at that time to the school board and the superintendent of schools.
When is that?
When's your next meeting?
September 2nd. And I'm gonna muscle in the TG, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's on anymore. Late. There you go. It's on.
What?
Yeah, I see the light by your finger, see it? I just have to go back to input, right?
That's
Great.
not me. And I'll try mirroring it again. Good. All right, so thank you for allowing me to address the board tonight. This is the first board that I've had the opportunity to address. And one of the things that I just wanted to do is to bring an awareness of why we are considering right-sizing the school district. We've spent a couple of years putting information together, and this last school year, we spent a lot of time, and by we, I mean the Board of Education and myself, walking through different presentations, looking at data, analyzing information, trying to come up with a solution on moving forward. All of this information is that you'll see tonight is a very short synopsis of some of our larger presentations that we've done over the last couple of year. So you can find all this information if you were to go to our website. Under the district, you'll see a drop-down menu that says Future Ready Organization Information Center. All of our presentations that we started doing last summer in July of 2024 throughout this past school year are all housed here. So what I'm going to do for time constraints, I'm just going to hit the highlights of some of our presentations, but feel free to go and look at more thorough conversations that we've had. We've done a snippet so that the entire presentation is recorded, and you can see the conversation that the Board of Education and myself had during this. So with that, one of the questions that I started to investigate when I started as superintendent, and this is going to be my 4th year as superintendent at Pine Plains, was really, why do we have one of the highest per pupil costs in the county? And as I started to investigate this, I started by looking at enrollment data. And what I found is that over the last 2 decades, we have had a significant decrease in student enrollment. You can see that in 2003, 2004, our total population was 1,420. Fast forward 2 decades to last school year, our enrollment was 783. So that's a pretty significant, almost a 50% decline in enrollment over the last 2 decades. Then in my 2nd year as superintendent, so this would be the 23-24 school year, the governor, as they began to prepare their budget, more or less gave us a warning shot. It turned out that it didn't impact us, but she, meaning Governor Hochul, began to look to streamline her budget. And one of the ways that she was looking to streamline her budget was to reduce foundation aid. So foundation aid makes up a big portion of the state aid that we receive from the governor. So we receive, and I'm going to use approximate numbers, 8 million in state aid. 6 million of that is foundation aid. So foundation aid, just to give you a little background on this, was established in 2007. And along with that, they also put in what they call either save harmless or hold harmless, both of which really just ensure that a district does not receive less foundation aid than the previous year. That's important for our school district because as I get to the formula, you'll see that it is a complex formula. It's too complex to try to explain how they do this state aid stuff. But there are 2 extremely impactful variables that impact us. One is student count. So we've had that declining enrollment. And the second is the wealth ratio. So both of these significantly impact what our foundation aid is. Because of hold harmless, we have been getting fully funded of the 6 million year after year. If when the governor proposed that one budget where we got a little concerned, we were talking about losing $4 million of foundation aid. So when you compare where we currently are to what our potential reduction is, we are losing approximately 50% of our state aid. Which, when you put that to our budget, it's almost 10% of our budget. So, cut to the chase, the governor did reinstate foundation aid fully funded for that year of 23-24. This past year, we have received fully funded foundation aid. And I anticipate, I will wait and see what happens, but I anticipate this next budget cycle, we will get fully funded for foundation aid again. The reason I am guessing that is because we are approaching an election year. But we did get a warning, so that really made us take a moment and really investigate further. So the next thing we started to do was to look at our enrollment by building. So we did a history analysis of our overall building enrollment over the years. And one significant slide that sort of popped for us at the end was when we compared our enrollment in the year 2004, 2005 to last year's current year, which was 2024, 2025. So we're looking at a 2-decade difference. But I'd like to just point out the grade bands in the 2004, 2005 for grades 9 through 12 and grades 6 through 8. When you combine those two, the total is 823. If I could turn your attention to the total enrollment for the 24-25 school year, you'll see our total enrollment was 783. Additionally, if you look at our elementary grade bands, which is pre-K, K1, and 210, I'm sorry, and 2.5. So it's 210, 115, and 33. That totals 358, which, if I bring you back to the 2004, 2005 school year, is equivalent to Seymour Smith's K5 of 359. So looking at these numbers, it sort of gave an indication that perhaps we are over-resourced, meaning potentially having too many buildings. So we contracted with Dr. Ross Haber, who did an enrollment projection and facility analysis for us. And his conclusions, which I'll go through just briefly, is that the district could consolidate into 2 buildings, that the change will not impact the delivery of service or increase class sizes, that the change will decrease transportation costs and operational costs, and potentially the closed building would generate some revenue by either being sold, leased, or rented. So really, those are some of the highlights that we have talked about. We are still discussing this. There is no decision that has been made. But we are starting to recognize that as we approach the upcoming years where the budget from the state potentially will be decreasing, we're going to have to be making some decisions. So this way we are being mindful of our tax base, and we want to try to be smart and prepare ourselves ahead of time. So really what we are doing right now is going through and doing some presentations. This is our first town meeting that I've been to. I do plan on going to all the other towns. We are reaching out, so I'm scheduled for Milan, Stamford, Ankrum, and I'm working on the others. But my goal is to raise an awareness, make sure that everybody understands what is going on with our school district. Certainly, if you have questions, concerns, I encourage everyone to please come to either the community forum or perhaps one of our board meetings when we are doing a presentation on right-sizing the district. Some of the next steps that we will be working on is we are in the process of conducting an analysis of operational costs per building, so we can get an idea of what we are really talking about for each individual building. Obviously, we're gonna continue to closely monitor the foundation aid. And we will continue to focus on being fiscally responsible as we move forward. Any questions or comments?
Does the board have any questions or comments?
You know, I was wondering about with the reduction of enrollment, doesn't that reduce some of the expenses right there?
It does reduce some of the expenses, but we are also operating under 3 different locations. So one way that I could reduce costs even more would be to, instead of having 3 different locations where we have to put employees in all 3 buildings and run buses to all buildings and turn on the lights for all the buildings and run the
Right.
heat for all the buildings. So if we could potentially get into a smaller footprint, I think that will naturally offset some of the potential foundation aid we might be losing.
Didn't the school district shut down Cold Spring previously, a number of years ago?
Yes, it did.
Why did they open it back up?
So I'm going to default to my historian, if I could, Chip Kaus, who's one of our board members, and Amy Fredericks, who's also here as a board member.
That was just about 40-something years ago. And it was done because the district is finding itself with a 20-25% increase in cost in the budget, and it was done for the purpose of cost reduction at the time. They were facing some serious, I don't know what remember what the finances of it, just a kid back then. And we all were, but they were facing, in that particular year that they did that, they were facing a 25% increase in the budget, and they just felt that was not tenable.
Okay.
Anything else? That's it.
All right,
Thank you
well,
for
I
coming.
really appreciate it. And again, I'll just say, if anybody does have any questions or want further conversation, please, I welcome you to attend our community forums or our board meetings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Why won't it let me do that? It just says duplicate, extend, or second screen only. Exit out of that. Disconnect, you're saying?
Stand by, we're having a little technical difficulty. Superintendent of schools messed things up.
As usual.
Once it says duplicate, extend, or second. Yeah. It's not you, it's technology.
You gotta love the internet out here.
Exactly.
You might try it all right.
Okay. All right, continuing on, I'll head back to town attorney Warren Raplansky.
Okay, so the only thing that we had on the agenda to discuss was the issue of enclosed dumpsters in the town. That was raised at the last meeting. Since that time, I had done a review of all the provisions in our zoning code which relate to dumpsters, and I concluded that we had more than enough provisions in our current law to control the location of dumpsters on a temporary and a permanent basis. The matter could be addressed by identifying what the problems are that we're having in the town and perhaps tweaking those laws without having to do anything dramatic with change. We have a provision in the law in Article 4 of 275-17 of the law, I'm sorry, 275-19 of the law, which regulates temporary storage of dumpsters and containers and similar structures and permanent storage. But it lacks a certain amount of clarity and specificity. One thing I noticed that we permit temporary dumpsters for a period of 6 months, and then it can be extended for 2 periods of 3 months. So essentially, you can have a temporary dumpster that's not enclosed, that it's not placed in a preferable location on the property for a year. I spoke to Janine about this. She and I have been communicating. And we thought one thing we needed to do was to shorten that time period. So that the dumpsters would only be for a maximum of 6 months. And perhaps have, an extenuating circumstances where there's a large construction site and needs more that have them be able to keep the dumpsters there. But the problem, according to Janine, I don't know if you agree with this, is in the Hamlet area.
That is correct.
There are a number of places that have dumpsters there. Is Ed here tonight?
He is not.
Okay, he sits tonight here, but I have to speak to Ed. There's a certain amount of due diligence that I would like Ed to do before we embark on this, because I don't want to create a law or amend a law and find that it doesn't help the problem and it's not enforceable. I'd rather not discuss in public what I want Ed to do, because I don't want to give warnings to possible offenders. So between now and next month, I will speak to Ed, have him do some due diligence, get back to me, and I'll discuss it with Ed and Janine, who seems to be most interested in this problem. And hopefully by the next meeting next month, I'll have either a draft or suggestions for how to amend the law.
Okay, thank you, Warren.
Okay, that's all
Is that all you have?
I have like to discuss a tax certiorari case with you in executive session, just
Okay.
a few minutes.
Okay. Department reports, highway.
I'm happy to say that we got the signs up on Halpin on that intersection I was concerned about. We're busy cleaning up trees from damage, storm damages. The Kubota is up and running and we have been mowing the side of the road. The ongoing road maintenance has been ongoing. And attached, we have the bid recommended for the open bid on August 8th. You guys get that in now?
Yep.
That's about all I got.
Can I get a motion to accept Carl's recommendations for the 2026 bids?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There
Thank
you
you
go.
very much.
Everybody received the building inspector's report? Month of July. 4 permits issued. total new homes for the year, 2, CO searches 3, site inspections 11, property maintenance 2, total permits year to date 40. Everybody received the water report.
Yes.
Average daily flow for the month stays consistent at 60,000 per day. Water meter maintenance on 1 meter head. Utility markouts, 4 water line markouts. Clean both chlorinator pumps. And, that's it. Police department.
14 hours of court, 159 of patrol, 13 of training, 12 details, 33 of admin, 7 of investigation, 14 for vehicles, 17 for other. And 24 complaints, 1 fire and EMS, 10 property checks, 1 auto accident, 12 vehicle and traffic warnings, 13 tickets issued, 5 parking warnings, 2 parking issued, and 1 misdemeanor arrest. 32 scheduled shifts and 33 were covered. That's it.
Thank you, John. Everybody received the animal control report.
Yes.
Admin hours for this month, 20, shelter maintenance hours, 9, 3 calls received, 31 total miles traveled. 2 complaints investigated and 2 notice to comply issued. Recreation.
Report, while at another town board meeting recently over in Hyde Park, I went there to meet this woman named Sarah Lee. Has she spoken with you about Hudson Valley, Hudson Valley Development?
No.
She's, of course, I mean, more, some people who work around municipalities know her, she does a lot of stuff for housing. That's her contact.
Okay.
She told me about a lot of grants, besides for housing, but for recreation and things like that for it. You've given me your email and Amanda's email. I'm gonna put in for a grant of $15,000 from Dutchess County for next year. For some equipment and stuff like that and anything else, improvements around the ball fields. Kind of drawn up a basic plan, Janine had talked to me about. A layout of where we put a soccer field down there and some other things.
Yep.
Really kind of, really basic right now. I have to go to a place called On Location in Poughkeepsie to get a larger map.
Yep.
I have a little pencil in from there, and that's gonna be the basis, I guess, for your 5-year plan for that.
Perfect.
That's about it. Thank you.
Camp's over with, correct?
Camp is over with, all cleaned up, beaches, all cleaned up. I was down there in the storage facility, they did a great job.
Okay.
Stashing
Good.
everything away and cleaning everything up.
Perfect.
It's unfortunate because the beach property right now, of course, we always say this, right? Most of the lifeguards are college students. They go back to college, so the last 2 these beautiful evenings, for swimming and everything like that, but beach is closed at this time of the year.
Yep.
We also opened up fall softball and baseball signups on the Hago too.
And we have some soccer, waiting on some soccer nets to come in from John Blackburn.
Track's open too, correct? Track's going on?
Closed this week?
Yeah, track's been done since the 11th.
Okay, so track's just completed. Okay. Perfect, thank you. CAC?
I have a question for Brian.
Yes, Janine.
Were the have the signs for the adult swim been ordered or installed?
They haven't, we have to discuss, what the signs actually say.
So I believe that Warren submitted to our insurance company or through Amanda his suggestions, and the insurance company approved it, and now the next step would be, I guess, ordering the signs.
Correct, Janine, we gotta discuss this in executive session. Risk assessment gentleman was here today.
Okay,
Something else came up today.
okay. Thank you.
Yep. CAC?
So with I feel like everybody in this room's help, but we were able to apply for a grant to conduct a natural resource inventory for every place in Pine Plains through the CAC. Lots of help from everybody, especially the supervisor and his entire office. Janine was extremely helpful. I'll give a plug to the woman you've hired as a grant writer who sort of pinch hit with me. And she was terrific. It was like the most frustrating. I think I have a new round ball patch in the back of my head from applying. But we've been given a lot of encouragement that we will be competitive. As Brian knows, once getting one grant is always helpful to getting further grants. So we're excited about that. With a lot of help from folks in this room, we have, I don't know, Brian, we're 9/8 of the way, he's hiding 9/8 of the way through for the access for the full lake swim for adults.
As Janine had asked, I found out tonight too, there's some other issues that we have to, the board probably has to, work out in regards to verbiage and access.
Okay. So, getting as far as we have has been terrific. I want to publicly thank Trevor, who came in and, again, with the support of the town, sort of put up a fence that would allow people to go around it. There are lots of things that we would like to do, I think, in the future, and I really encourage the town board to think about a public opening so that once you deal with all the Raplansky kinds of things, you can really celebrate this, because it's sort of unheard of to get stuff, to have an idea come to fruition in a couple of months. That was pretty exciting. The CAC, every single member of that worked really hard to get this together. So just really happy to have that in place, and looking forward to, I think there's 4 months, I think, before we hear the outcome of the grant.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone on the CAC for that great effort. It really means a lot.
Do we have anybody here from the beautification committee?
So I can give an
Can-
update if there isn't.
Yep, do you have those estimates too?
I do have the estimates. I can submit them to you. I have the numbers that I can read off. The beautification committee didn't meet this month, but last month they made an effort to secure 3 bids for the repainting of the 55 lampposts in town. And the bids range from $11,200 to $11,550. And the lowest bid was $4,675. So then the questions that are raised are, what line item would that come out of? Is there a lighting district that could fund this, kind of like the water district? Or what budget line would we be considering?
Beautification's budget line.
Okay, and maybe we would need to fundraise for that effort.
Yep,
Or maybe they would need to fundraise for that effort.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Is that all they had, Janine?
Yes.
Okay. All right, getting into old business. New town hall survey was completed. They came out a second time for a couple more measurements. They're now working on a bubble drawing to present to the town board and the public. That's as far as they stand right now. Spoke to them today, actually. Utility poles letters were mailed out. And the board members, did you get a chance to read through your?
Yes, no.
Okay.
I mean, I did a little bit of the.
A little bit skim.
Yeah.
Okay, So why don't we push this to next month as far as our precision safe sidewalks? So all the board members can get eyes on that. And we'll make a presentation to the town next month.
I have some questions about it. I mean, seems like a good idea, but whatever caused our sidewalks to shift, if they perform this work, which will resolve the situation, what prevents them from shifting again? And lastly, what line would we pull this out of to pay for it? 'Cause it's,
This is a proposal for right now. It's
Yeah.
something we definitely could not do this year because we do not have the money for it this year.
okay,
That is
We-
100% correct.
budget for it.
This would just give us an assessment of what we have now of our hazard areas, of areas that we need to address.
Okay.
So we know, we're aware of them.
I think additionally, we could ask for assistance from possibly from the county, or Dee Dee Barrett's office sometimes is able to offer some kind of assistance in that regard.
Correct.
So I have a question about the utility poles. The letters were sent, and what would the next steps be? How much time does?
They have 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
I believe that's what we put on there, right? Correct,
Yeah.
30 days. Yeah,
But isn't that 30 days from when it became law, or, I mean?
30 days from when they were notified,
Notified,
when they were notified.
Don't have the law.
Next up, we have a resolution for the Climate Smart Community Grant that we applied for. This letter needs to go to DEC. The resolution states, whereas the town of Pine Plains hereby requests financial assistance from the New York State Climate Smart Communities Grant Program pursuant to Environmental Conservation Law, Article 54, Title 15. Whereas the town of Pine Plains certifies that it has identified $25,480 of matching funds from in-kind municipality staff and volunteer time pursuant to the requirement of Environmental Conservation Law, Article 54, Title 15. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Pine Plains hereby authorizes Brian Walsh, Pine Plains Supervisor, to act on its behalf in submittal of an application through the consolidated funding application for $25,000 to be used for the Pine Plains Climate Smart Certification Project. Can I get a motion on this resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Does anybody else have any old business? Did you want to just touch base on the, you sent over to me in regards to our
I'm
previous,
sorry, for what?
did you want to touch base in regards to the previous? Climate Smart?
Just that,
You sent me
the
that.
resolution, yes, the resolution adopting the, climate smart community was actually originally done under Derek Cloud's administration. And here we have one dated, March 15th of 2018, signed by Judy Hart. So we actually started this process a long time ago.
That's correct.
Well, 10 years. Well, not quite.
Okay, anybody else got any old business? Or we get into new business? New business, Brian, question was brought up in regards to the New York State Swims grant.
Yes. So, at least $53 million funding available. Of course, that's.
You stand up.
Yep.
We,
2025, 2026 budget. The funding available is about $53 million. The grant sizes range from $250,000 up to $10 million. There is a match requirement. Grantees must provide at least 20% of the total project costs. Eligible applicants and projects, of course, are municipalities, and also New York State pre-qualified non-for-profit entities. Projects that we might use it for would be acquisition of a piece of land, demolition to property, and a piece of property design, construction, renovation, modernization, or rehabilitation of swimming facilities. Eligible related improvements, restrooms, bathhouses, shade structures, etc. Ancillary features such as splash pads, concessions, picnic and play areas allowed up to 10% of the grant request. And eligible projects or monies to go to, it cannot go to salaries, utilities, routine maintenance, a routine maintenance plan, planning studies, debt repayment. Funding priorities and levels for newer large facility. $5 million, $10 million. Small facilities up to about $500,000. Renovation for existing facilities would include $250,000 up to $5 million awarded. So I guess you probably have to decide on what.
My opinion in this matter, we're at a point right now, being you have to put up that, you have to match that 20% and everything, and we're in the middle process of our current town hall. There's not really that much extra money, if at all, to put towards this right now. So I think we almost have to
believe- are you
prioritize.
talking- I'm just asking, are we talking towards a pool? Or something of that sort?
Either the pool or improving the water, you know, we kind of are heavily extended toward the town hall. Don't entirely know how we're going to pay for all of
Sure.
it, so, you
I
know,
don't, I don't think this grant is going away. And while we're on grants, I just wanted to mention for your sidewalks. Community Development Block Grant, sidewalks fall under the Community Development Block Grant, and almost every municipality in Dutchess County has received those. I received one for the beach house. No money down by the municipality. So I mean, if you're thinking about, I mean, money, you know, you gotta, your build out right now is pretty robust with town hall and other things happening, sidewalks. So I don't know, I would say go for as many grants as possible, especially grants that you're not gonna have to lay out a lot of money.
and we are, Choice Words is looking at all of that for us.
Excellent.
I think at this point, we should pass on this round of that grant.
The next round.
Is there something that, I mean, my motivation for having Brian come up with a 5-year plan would be to just, you know, sort of chip away at different projects and start with something small. So if we started with something small and that wasn't expensive, a 20% match wouldn't be that much, and maybe we could even fundraise for that. So I haven't seen his 5-year plan yet, but if we could do something to enhance our swimming, our access to safe swimming, or the park area, I think it makes sense to do that. And we have, and actually Choice Words is the one, they're the ones that brought this grant to our attention. So, and I don't think it's just for a swimming pool. I think that we need to talk about the kinds of things that Brian is recommending for our sort of overall 5-year plan before we decide not to apply for the grant at all. It might be that we apply for something very small.
It sounds like.
Picnic and play areas are considered in that. I'm just saying that county grant, the woman that's gonna write it for me, wrote one towards for the VFW, right, to do over the upstairs and make the facility better there. We got it. The county, the one thing that the county is great is they divide a lot of money up for everyone. I'm not guaranteeing it, but there's a good chance we'll get to $15,000 for the town rec department next year. I just think there is.
Well,
right? And with that, I want to go for like soccer goals, better, I mean, really like decent soccer goals, right? We need 2 sets of those. They're approximately $2,000 in net, so we're looking at $8,000 for that.
Which that I agree 100% as far as the county level grant and everything. What Janine's talking about is in regards to that one.
It says, it says purpose, expand access to safe swimming facilities across New York with the capital grants. However, down under projects, yes, it does also, you know, it does talk about restrooms, bathhouses, shade structures. And some ancillary features such as picnic and play areas. Allowed up to 10% of the actual grant request. Within that, within our grant, 10% of it could be towards something like that.
So it sounds like we need a workshop to talk about this, what we could do, and
So we have a grant writer.
Yes,
we do.
They-
Choice words.
They need to come in. You need to sit down with them and develop, hey, this is where, you know, what are, I mean, make priorities. What's your priority?
Yeah,
Well,
so they're looking to schedule a meeting as early as next week. And so if we can bring you, Brian Coons, into that meeting, I think that would be helpful.
Could I come too? I would love to see what would be possible with the things that we're doing.
Well, if there's a workshop meeting scheduled on a Monday, then that would be something that's open to the public.
okay, so we'll schedule something up then. Does anybody else have any other new business? Are we gonna be making any decisions?
Oh, no, just wanted. I don't know this.
Can I get a motion to go in executive session for, tax associary and, legal issues in regards to swim area with the town attorney Warren Raplansky and the rec director Brian Coons?
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can I get a second? All in favor?
Thanks, Bob.
I just let you kind of share it.
Hey, no, she's still on there. Janine. Janine,
Yes.
I will call you.